Queen's Alchemy tribe is the vibe. Spitting peace and love on every live. The wisdom she holds is like no other, bringing together every sister and brother. She extends peace and love through collab and grow. Her weekly connection, so now you know. Join the tribe on the live, she got something to say, bringing healing to body each and every day. She's got something special, yeah, the queen is the vibe. Dropping wisdom in the group on every live. Queen Alchemy is gifted, yes, she'll fight for you when she feels compelled to stand up for the truth. She's strong in her stance with poise and grace, giving back to her community in every way. Queen Alchemy, now you know her name. One moment in a tribe, no, you won't be the same. Sharing wisdom, she's the queen, dropping knowledge on everything. Join Queen Alchemy, she's the vibe, sending peace and love on every live. With the knowledge and the tribe, hail to the queen, Queen's Alchemy.
Peace. Welcome to the live. If my panelists will please put yourself on mute. Peace. Welcome to the live. Thank you for everybody joining in. I know we're all connected from a couple different channels, but that's all good and wonderful and beautiful. I hope everybody having a beautiful day. We're going to go ahead and get started. I apologize for the delay, but we here, so that's the only part that really matters. We getting ready to do some things, y'all. Peace and love, and welcome to our second collective build. We're going to be talking about definitely a topic that needs to be addressed. But first of all, I want to address some things up front, right? So I'm grateful and excited to have all of you here in the chat. I see quite a few of us here. We got Yoshirio, we got Solomon's Project, Stephanie's 57 Journey is on the stage, actually. Monique, Real Odds and Evens, Coco, we got Taylor, and we got, I can't see any, we got Koala. Hey, thank you so much for being here. And we'll greet y'all as y'all come in the building. But this collective build is something that's very special to me, as I've told you before. It's about coming together as creators, as people, and building intentionally through real conversations like we're about to have today. And here we're focusing on wellness, growth, and transformation, not just individually, but collectively, so you can see a whole bigger picture. These series are about sharing what we practice in real life and how we heal, grow, and how we build together to build stronger and healthier communities inside and out, okay? So today's build is centered around something that truly forms, that actually connects to the true form of foundation, which last time we did a healthy mindset, right? But today we're going to be dealing with fuel and flow, which is your nutrition and movement, okay? And not just nutrition and movement of the body, but nutrition and movement within yourself, and nutrition, what you actually feed yourself physically and mentally, okay? So we're going to talk about how we nurture it, how we protect it, and how we actually use it within our lives to challenge us, okay? So, we got some great guests on here, Y'all know we got some great guests today. Y'all can see them on the panel. I want to give a big thanks to to all the amazing creators here on the panel for joining me today. Thank you so much. If we could get a big clap in the chat, or some fire, or throw something at the chat. I don't know, whatever you need to do. Just go ahead and light it up for me. Light that chat up. This too stagnant for me. Make it move. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We're going to start by having each panelist introduce themselves. And as they do, make sure you keep lighting up that chat, lighten it up. Each one of them, after they finish, light it up. All right. And after the introductions, we'll dive into our thought-provoking topics and conversations around today's theme. Okay. And we're going to be starting first. Before we jump into the discussion, we're going to meet each one of them. So we're going to be starting first. We're going straight from left to right. We're going to start out. If you would please, and I'll be dropping their link as they begin to speak, so you will know and be able to connect and get to their channel easily. If you're on my live stream, they would might have to have someone designated on their live stream to drop their link. But on my link, I'm going to drop their live. There's their links on my side. Okay. So if you would go ahead and take off for me, my sister from another Mister, Coach Mean Reen.
Me, I'm like me. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Coach Mean Reen, and I'm on the scene with the gangster lean. No, let me be serious. I'm in a silly mood today, guys, so please excuse
Let's
me
do
in
it.
advance. I am a here on YouTube. I am, of course, a content creator. I am a plus size fitness coach. I am a motivator. I am a entertainer. And I'm here to shed some positive light in your life. And if you're not subscribed, that would be great if you did so. I would really appreciate that. And something about me, my favorite color is purple. So if you could just drop some purple hearts in the chat for me, drop them purple hearts for me. I really appreciate that. And that's it.
Thank you so much, Coach. That was a beautiful introduction and real. Okay. Go ahead, Coach Sherry. Take it away.
All right. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. So I am Coach Sherry, and my channel is about workforce development, career readiness, entrepreneurship, real life, real issues, and real talk. I am a licensed career coach. I've been coaching for well over 25 years, and I'm all about transformation. I'm also an entrepreneur. I own many businesses that are flying high on their own. And something interesting about me, I have many layers and I always seize the moment. And I am happy to be here. And thank you, Queen, for the invitation again to be part of this dynamic collection. Thank you.
My pleasure. It is definitely my pleasure. I invite
The
you
collective.
intentionally.
That's it.
That's it. I invite you intentionally. But y'all know Coach Sherry and Coach Mean Reen from the last collective bill, but we have the one, the only, just Danielle. Come off mute and tell me a little bit about who you are and your channel.
Hi, I am Danielle, and my channel name is Just Danielle. You can find me on all platforms as Just Danielle. And I am a licensed clinical therapist in the state of Pennsylvania. So I've been doing that for a long time, longer than I like to tell people, but a really long time. So I've worked in a variety of places, and I have I like helping people. That is always my goal and function. I've been through a lot in my life, and if I can help shorten someone else's discomfort and so that they don't have to suffer in silence, that's what I'm going to do. So that's always my approach. And something interesting about me, if you don't know, I love words. I love words, and I will probably say one that you don't know. Not on purpose. It's just how I talk. So.
Well, I love that, and I'm ready to hear some words that maybe I don't know. All right, that was Danielle. I want y'all to light up that chat. She got on pretty pink over there. Maybe it looks like a little salmon, maybe pink, but her lipstick is pink. Why don't y'all drop me some pink hearts in the chat and light it up for Danielle? Light it up, light it up.
Queen, we can't hear you, Queen. Lord have mercy. What happened?
She's muted. You're muted.
How about now?
Yes.
I'm glad y'all seen I was muted because I don't even know how that happened, honestly. But let's keep it moving. My sister Stephanie 57 Journey, but she's also Stephanie 50 and Climate. As you see, she is rocking two channels. So we're going to charge her to tell us about both. All right. Tell us about
Oh,
you.
oh, hey everybody, I'm Stephanie 57, moving and climbing. Stephanie 50 climbing. I started Stephanie 50 climbing a couple of years after I turned 50. And it's that channel is about like my lifestyle channel. Everything that I do in my life, to my grandkids, to shopping, to making coffee in the morning. So it's all about lifestyle. I started off as a mukbanger, but I changed after I got monetized because sister was gaining a lot of weight by eating that food. So I changed and I changed it into a lifestyle. So everything over there is all about my life. Stephanie 57 Journey. I started this channel in December, a couple days before Thanksgiving, and this channel is all about my healthy journey, my diet, my food, my working out, my encouragement. And I am an encourager by nature. I encourage people to keep going in your life, in your journey, in your marriage, and your job if you want to change it. But that's who God made me, an encourager, to inspire people to be uplifting and just enjoy life. Don't take yourself so seriously. And something special about me is that red is my favorite color, and pink, and that I have 13 grandchildren, and I am a licensed daycare provider.
Woo! Y'all give it up for Miss Stephanie 50 and 57 in Climate. She got a couple ages on there. Go ahead and give it up for Stephanie, who is grandmother of 13 grandchildren. Oh my gosh. Look at them pink hearts. Yes. Thank you. 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 And next we have Lala, my 22 sister. Let's go.
Bonjour, hola, bienvenue, and welcome, welcome. Thank you so much kindly for having me today. I am a plant-based nutritionist and fitness professional for over 24 years now. My channel is based upon habitual juicing and plant eating and fitness and things of that nature. That is my passion, and that's what I do in real life. And I don't want to do anything else. And I just hit the 1K club. 1K, 1K. So just growing the community and helping my community, my high vibrations, find consistency in healthy mindset, eating, living, breathing. We go over that as well. So come see me in the YouTube streets. And you know, my favorite color is green. I don't know if you can
Pop
tell.
it out green, y'all. Pop it out green. Pop it out green, y'all. Pop it out. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see ya.
What up, though?
Where that green at, y'all? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
De nada.
Congratulations to Lala. Yes, looks beautiful. But last but not least, ever least, never least, my brother, my little brother, but rooted in essential oils. Come on off mute and tell us about who you are and what you do and your channel and all those beautiful things.
Hello, fam. So I am Rooted, also known as Rooted in Essential Oils, but you may know me as Rooted, the oil guy, or I have many names, but my channel is geared towards health and wellness in all aspects. So I showcase physical working out with a vibration plate or doing yoga, so helping your mindset. I also do healthy eating. I recently just got into showcasing juicing on my channel, so shout out to Lala and her inspiration with that. And I also have a business, so my channel is my business where I educate but also sell plant-based products. So I have essential oils, I have cleaning supplies, I have you name it, whatever product that you're using on a daily basis, I have it in a more natural plant-based form so you can get rid of the toxins out of your home and it works. So yeah, and my favorite colors are red and purple and green. So
Why
yeah.
don't we light it up that way? You can go ahead. You can go ahead. Y'all can light it up. Light it up. I'm waiting. Go ahead. While you're lighting that up, I want to thank everybody for sharing about themselves. And I'll go ahead and share about myself. Y'all know my favorite color is purple. So y'all can just keep on lighting it up just like that with everybody's color in conjunction of each other. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about, of course, Queen's Alchemy. Y'all know it's some great energy in here already, y'all. I'm so excited. This is ready to be fun, y'all. But before we dive into the conversation, real quick, I am the queen, and this is Queen's Alchemy, and this is the collective build. And when I think about Queen's Alchemy, I think about healing, growth. I think about mind, body, spirit connection, just a little bit of everything, building communities, collabing and growing, doing all the wonderful things, eating whole foods, being authentic, all those things. They all scream Queen's Alchemy with a loud burst of energy. Okay, so that's me. But with that being said, y'all ready? Because today we're really going to get into learning about how to fuel and the fuel and flow of the body, which is nutrition and movement. And it's not limited to, so just so panelists notice, because I did share that, but it's not limited to just really the food that you put in your body, but the things that you may feed yourself mentally and physically, throughout your journey, and also the movement, how you moving about life, not just how your movement of your body is as far as that goes, right? So we got a couple different takes on that. So however you feel about explaining that, if you want to add a little bit of both, that's fine too. Just wanted to give that disclaimer. All right, y'all, we about to get into it. All right, so now we're gonna have, I just lost my questions. I'm sorry. All right, so I'm excited to hear your thoughts on this, and then we're gonna share a little bit of my own as well. But first, on our last collective build, if you were here, and if you haven't caught it, you can always catch it in the playlist. We focused on a healthy mindset, and that was very powerful. And this time, we're continuing that space where we're going to open up with this question. All right. How does mindset? We're going to start with. We're gonna go in order from left to right, and then we're gonna mix it up. I'm gonna call on you, okay? We're gonna mix it up. All right. So we're gonna start with you, Coach. How does mindset play a role in your approach to nutrition and movement? Or put another way, how does your inner world shape the way you nourish and move your body?
You said you're starting with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, mindset is everything. How you think about fitness, how you think about nutrition is going to dictate what you decide to do. If you're, you know how I always say, if you think about fitness as a chore and you think of it as something that is a punishment, then what do we do with chores and punishment? We don't want to do that. Who want to do that? Nobody. So if you think about it as something that is going to nourish your body, and you think about it as something that's going to help you become super flexible, because flexibility is your secret weapon, ladies. and gentlemen. Then it'll shape how you approach your fitness journey. It'll shape how you decide to eat. If you're looking at food as a comfort, and you look at your comfort as something that you have to, you have to really enjoy, and you're not really looking at your food as something that's supposed to nourish your body and help your skin glow and not your age show. I told you I'm in a silly mood, guys. I'm trying to stay serious. Then you'll change how you it. Oh, it just muted my mic. Can you hear me?
I did it by mistake. Go ahead.
Then I forgot what I was going to say. What was I going to say? If you look at it as a chore, no, that wasn't it. I totally forgot. I was going to say something really good too. Listen, the 46, guys.
You're talking about glowing.
Oh, yes, we want to glow for sure. But okay, so if you look at your food, right, and someone says to you, for instance, you have to stop eating sugar. And if you look at sugar as your comfort, right, it's similar to someone being on a drug, right? When you have to stop something and you don't really want to do it, then you'll make up all of these excuses about it, and you'll say that, it's really not something that I want to do right now, and I don't eat that much. And you'll start telling yourself what you need to hear so that you can keep doing what you want. But if you look at it in a different way, then you'll have a different outcome. So the mindset, how we think about everything, really determines what you actually end up doing. That's it. Short and sweet. You're muted now, Queen. We're gonna have to keep watching that.
I was muted because I was coughing, and I started coughing. I forgot I was on the thing. I'm all in your. And then I muted you by mistake. We all over the place. That's okay. We're gonna get this together. We're about to start flowing. Go ahead, Coach Sherry.
So when I think about nutrition and the mindset, I always in my mind, I still have a lot of great things to live for, tremendous things to accomplish. And I've come to realize, especially when I turned 50, I'm double nickel right now. I'm 55 all the way live, 55, 55, double five. I'm sorry. I think I'm a little silly too. Wait, hold on. This is water that I'm drinking. Hold on.
You sure?
Once I turned 55, I want to say approaching 55, I recognize that it has to be part of my mindset of like how I eat, how I'm showing up for myself. When I go to the doctors, I let them know I have a lot of life to live. So treat me for health and not for sickness. And I'm more intentional with, understanding what's fueling my body versus what's depleting my body. I started to really take account for those foods when after I eat it, I am sluggish, I am drained, I have no energy, and recognizing those foods that give me energy. So being more aware and having more intention with everything. And Coach Mean Reen was saying even in her live today about the IMs and, your inside voice and what you're telling yourself. So again, I tell myself, I have so many great things to accomplish. I'm finding myself, in front of cameras, being interviewed on the news intentionally, not just because I was a witness at the crime scene. And so I want to be ready. And I know how I'm looking on camera. And so, that's keeping me also mindful of, okay, Coach Sherry, if you want to do this, if this is really your projection of where you're going, you have to all inside and out, you have to be ready. And it's not about getting ready, it's staying ready. So my mindset is to stay ready, to be at my best at all times, and to listen to what my body's telling me, because your body talks to you, and listening to what my body's telling me and adhering to that and respecting that, because my future self is going to say thank you.
Thank you so much, Coach. Do I need to repeat the question, or you remember what it is, Danielle? Let's go.
I remember. So, and I got split screen, so I just slid the questions on the other side, so I'm good. So, what I will say is, when it comes to mindset and nutrition and movement, for me, I had to unlearn a lot. I grew up in a household where physical appearance, especially weight, was lauded. Like you had to be a certain size. I was not that size. Okay. I was never going to be that size. And so there was a lot of shame associated with that, a lot of pressure associated with that. And then, to have a bar you can't actually meet, or I wouldn't say can't, to healthily meet. And so I suffered with eating disorders for a number of years. And so the mindset was food is bad. Food is of the devil. Food is going to hurt me and or harm me. And then, of course, going to that whole yo-yo dieting thing, right? Because now you demonize food. It becomes this it's maligned. And so you're like, okay, well, then I just won't eat, right? Enter church culture. Now we fit in the fast. Okay, I can do that. I can do that with my eyes closed. But it's still, it is a negative mindset. It's not a right way of thinking. So now so again, not to take over. So I had to unlearn that. I had to unlearn the things that I was taught about food and function. And if I'm going to exercise, I'm not going to exercise to harm my body, right? Because that was enough. My dad was a bodybuilder, and so he was getting up at the crack of dawn and locking the refrigerator at certain times. So, and again, just relearning what is that food is not the issue. It's how I think about it, right? It's how I think, how I process, and understanding that. So hopefully I answered your question. But yeah, I had to unlearn some things. And I think that is what a lot of people have to do as they start to have a holistic journey around food and movement.
And I'm going to say that was an excellent question. And yes, you're answering, whatever you say is answering my question at this point. I do want to just re-ask the question so that that the chat will connect to this. It was, how does mindset play a role in your approach to nutrition and movement? And or how does your inner world shape the way you nourish your body and move your body? And we're going to get Stephanie to go ahead and answer that as well. Yes, definitely unlearning. Absolutely.
Okay. That's a big thing for me. That was the mindset part, was one of the reasons why I was able to get on my journey. Get back on my healthy journey, because it's like everything starts in the mind. Everything that you do and everything that we want to accomplish, or that we begin to accomplish, it starts in the mind first. It's a thought. It took me for 3 years. I was thinking that it's time for me to work out. For 3 years, I just kept saying, listen, you gaining this weight, you eating whatever you want to eat. You think this healthy and it's not healthy, because it got all these products and all these things in it, is processed food. So my mind was telling me to stop eating this, and okay, you got to start working out, at least get up and walk or something. But it's a battle, what's that? It's a song that say the mind it's a battlefield, it's a battlefield. And so my mindset, when I found out that, when I really found out my numbers was out of whack, all those things that I was thinking over those years, it was like, okay, it's time to put it into reality. Because if you don't, you going out the world backwards. Like period, point
you might be
blank.
going out the world. Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly. And I didn't want to say, the K word, but that's the way I felt. That's the way I felt. I'm doing this to myself. Even though I sit here and I think about what I shouldn't do, or I should be doing this and I shouldn't be doing that. But if I don't put my thought process into action, it's useless. So it took a doctor to tell me this, sis, you don't have to get a shot every day. You know, you're gonna have to give yourself a shot every day. And then and I was like, oh no, 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 no. And then I started thinking in my mind about people that I loved that was close to me, how they passed, what, some of those reasons, those diseases and everything they had that took them out of here. So it's the mind, our mind. If we don't get control, like I'm with sister just got through saying, like obesity. I dealt with obesity for a long time. Ever since I was a younger, a little girl, I was always the biggest one in the family. But thank God they didn't really kind of shame, do the shame thing. They did it in other ways, okay? But for me, it is definitely my mindset is very important because I am a processor, and what that means is that I have to, when I think of things, or when you tell me I need to do something, I process it. I think about it, like which way can I do this? What way is best for me? How am I going to succeed in it? So I am, and my mind is like, it's always going like, okay, now that you done figured it out up here, now it's time for us to get up and put it into action. Because like I said, if it stays in my mind and I'm wrestling with my mind, knowing you're not supposed to do, you shouldn't be doing this, put it like that, because it's not healthy for you. You're not one of those people that can eat a piece of chocolate cake and don't gain no weight, sis. You look at it and you gain about 5 pounds. So
Right.
yes, so yes, the mindset is very important. Like if we think it, it's like you have to. I'm gonna keep it on me. I have to get it from here to here, out here, and do it. And for me, it's I process things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Definitely. I can relate to a lot of things you said. Cricket Peach says it is a battle and very difficult because these processed foods hijack our brain. And then we beat ourselves up thinking we have no willpower when it's not even under our control because
Yes, but they are drugs.
they are drugs. They
They
are
is
drugs. They
drugs. So
are
you gotta
drugs. They are
treat them like
drugs.
drugs. You gotta treat
Yeah,
them like drugs.
absolutely.
That's what it
And
comes to.
kind of going back to Danielle, you had people amazed at uh, Jay was like, locking the refrigerator is wild. And Taylor says her aunt and plenty of people in her family used to lock up the food. And so for me, when I hear this, that's trauma in itself because you're trying to figure out like why are you doing this? I mean, and then it makes you want to have those things that they were trying to keep you from, and so you constantly go after it. I mean, I know we out of order here a little bit, but listen to what I'm saying. When we think about food, it's anything in life. We always want what we cannot have. So if someone's taking something from you and then you can't have it, when you do get it, you overindulge in whatever that thing is, whatever it is, right? So and I'm a definite witness to that. And it wasn't never that food was ever kept from me. It was that I was untrained in fasting, and meaning that I fasted in a long time ago, and it was because of religious purposes that I did this, but I didn't understand the whole thing. And so all I was thinking is that food was being withheld from me. So when I actually could eat, I overate, and I ate until, and every time I thought about food, I ate. So definitely that's a thing. But we're gonna continue, y'all. I want to first acknowledge some people coming into the chat. Welcome in, Open, Monique. Thank you for coming in. Travel Cake Trips is in the house. Patty's Kitchen and Garden More. Crooked Peach. Taylor, as I just mentioned, motherhood influencer. Thank you for being here. Thank all of y'all for being here. We have Honey Lover Friend in the house. Peace and love, honey. And we have, if I miss you, it's only because the chat is moving so fast. We have Solomon's Project in the house. Kids from Jay. Lafita is here. We also have Lily in the house. We have Fatima in the house. We have, I saw Crystal's World earlier. Ellen Smile is here. Simply Alana is here. Come on, y'all. Come on through. I see y'all. I see y'all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. We're gonna go ahead and continue with this question. You know who it is. Homebody Trish. She's here too. All right. And we got Hassan Tahir Show, and we have that's it. That's it. We got y'all. I think I hit everybody. And if I didn't, welcome. All right. Come on, Lala. Take it away for me.
What up, though? Are you feeding your fit or your fat? I think in terms of just simple, when coming to decisions of what's on your plate, what you are going to choose, once you get it mentally in your head where you can't unsee some stuff, where once you see how it's processed, once you see how it's made, and once you see how it affects your body, once it's integrated into your mindset, then you don't see it the same. So therefore you don't react the same. So locking stuff up, no, out of sight, out of mind. It ain't coming in my house, bro. Like, I don't even buy that stuff. Like, I don't even go down the aisle because I know if I eat certain things, this is going to break me out. This is going to give me boogers. This is going to give me indigestion. This is going to make me fart. And I don't want none of that. So if this equals this, it's simple equation. It's simple math to me. The math is mathing. You're going to feed your health, or are you going to feed your sickness? And it's the same thing as in, I talk about nourishing with food, but also with what you're listening to or what you're watching, things of that nature. Are you feeding your fear, or are you feeding your faith? Are you going out and ingesting all these horror movies and things of that nature? Or are you waking up in la mañana with some motivation and the word and peace, or I don't know. I don't want to digress from the question algunas preguntas, but simple. Are you feeding your health, or are you feeding your sickness in terms of mindset? Like I said, once you get into your head, you can't see it no other way, then the choice is easy. So educate. The more you research, the more you know, the more you grow. Period. Oh, is my mic still on?
Okay. Your mic is on. All right, y'all. Now, y'all heard that. So let me tell you, I just want to tap into that. You see, anything that you feed it into your body can be impactful to you, no matter how it is. So doing your research is where you want to be with this. Definitely research. Again, I got the wrong thing streaming across the bottom. I did not read the disclosure, but give me just one moment, please, while I get the right disclosure going across the screen. This content on this channel is for informational purposes only, also for educational entertainment purposes only, and it does not substitute professional or medical advice or consultation with any healthcare professional. So please make sure you do that. We are just giving our own experiences. This is not that. All right. So let's go ahead and continue. And I'm going to have my little brother, Rooted, take it over.
All right. So for me, mindset is the foundation of lasting health. It starts there. If you don't know where to start with your mind. Change what you were thinking, because the mind is so powerful. It can do whatever you want to create for your reality. So mindset is everything. I want to just say, my mindset changed when I was about 25. I was drinking all the time and things like that, and it was bad. And I kept saying, I want to change, but I didn't make that change happen until I was about 30. It was like 30, 31. And that's when the mindset like really set in. So yes, I was wanting to have those changes, but it didn't actually happen physically until I was in my 30s. So that mindset starts there. It doesn't matter how long that mindset takes you to make your reality come to life. Just keep having that same mindset if you want something different. But another thing with mindset is, for me, at a very, I'd say through high school, I was like very skinny. I was like 130 and never could gain weight. I took nutrition pills and weight gainer pills, nothing worked. And I had the mindset of just wanting to do different with what I was eating. I could eat anything that I wanted and not gain a pound. And once I got into my 30s, that changed. So I started putting weight on, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm getting the weight that I want, but now that I'm getting this weight, now what do I do? I'm not working out, and then it becomes unhealthy, and I'm like, okay, this is not good. I don't like what my body's looking like. So now I need to lose some of this, and now here comes the fitness part of it. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to just be a couch potato, sit on the couch, eat whatever I want, and indulge into like unaliving myself. And I have a son to live for and a husband. So I got things to look forward to, and I need to stick around and make changes. So I made those changes, and then YouTube came along, and then now I want to share it with the world. Like, okay, I can share my lifestyle with other people, and maybe it will resonate with others. Hopefully I can inspire someone to want to do the same. And here we are now. 2 years into YouTube, I've been on this health and wellness journey for almost 5 years, and love every aspect of it, and it keeps evolving. So I'm not just staying stagnant at one point. I'm putting more into it. So as I mentioned before, I'm doing the juicing, I'm doing the workout, I'm eating healthy. And then I have essential oils that also help with mindset. Essential oils do more than just smell good. And if you are willing to try it, you will see what I'm talking about. It works, and it can help with grounding you, changing that mindset, and it works. And it's all plant-based. So yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Rooted. And that is great insight. Now, I just want to show y'all how everything is a building block. You understand what I'm saying? So we talked about mindset. So if you want to hear some deep answers into mindset and how mindset structured is, I mean, they tapped into something that they didn't even tap into on the last panel, which the whole panel was about a healthy mindset. But this was just this, I wanted to use that as the building block so you can see how it actually ties into this. But everybody, y'all gave great answers. There's no right, there is no wrong answers, because these are all people's experiences and how they typically, or how they approach these things, right? So for me, when it comes down to the question of how does your inner world shape the way you nourish and move your body, well, I kind of gave you a little tidbit when I was, commenting on not being able to, being withheld from food, or being a I want to say, I used to say addict, right? I used to say I was a food addict. I came on here saying food addiction, right? Saying that I had a food addiction, but I decided that that was a negative connotation for me. I didn't want to put a label on myself that would give me an excuse. That's where I'm at with this. No excuses, right? So no excuses. I'll talk about that again later on. Coach is smiling. She know why she's smiling, but there's no excuses. And for me, mindset, when it comes down to it, is the foundation. And that's where I was going with this. And if your thoughts are not aligned, then any habit that you start will not stick, right? So if you don't have the right mindset, so if you start a workout journey and your mindset is not aligned, it's not going to work, right? So then you move away from that and you say, I'm going to eat a certain way. Stop doing diets, fad diets, things like that, because those things don't align. And that's definitely not a mindset included in that. So how I work around these things when it comes down to shaping my nourishment and mind, put my mindset. I think about what I'm going to do and what the outcome of that's going to look like, and the end result of what that's going to look like, right? So I do want to be here for the long haul. I like the way I feel when I eat right. I like the way I feel when I actually move my body and nourish my body. I like the way I feel when I don't indulge in negativity, or have anything that kind of try to hold me back. I really like the way I feel, and that feeling outweighs any other, mindset that I can have. So I keep on, speaking to myself. As y'all seen the video, if y'all didn't see it, I literally talk to myself often. And so that was just an you know, outward to you, so you can see that I literally have these conversations with myself. That conversation wasn't for you, but I bet you it resonated with a whole bunch of you. So um I talk to myself. That's the mindset I have that keeps me aligned, that keeps me in alignment with what I want to do when it comes down to my nourishment and moving my body, whether the nourishment is physical nourishment for the health of my body or for the mental um, nourishment of my body. And also the movement, the way I move and what I do, I'm intentional. Intentional is huge for me. Everything I do is intentional. I don't have any unintentional movement. I'm not going to say I don't have any. I try not to have any unintentional movement, but sometimes that does happen, unfortunately. Again, I have gotten away from excuses, and we'll talk about that again later, but we're going to move on. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything in the chat. All right, all right. Taylor says there isn't a stopping point, just a healthier way of life. That's right. Coach says, get to class.
We found it in the chat. She was looking at the chat. She found our banter.
Yes. It keeps you in fight or flight. Yep. So we're gonna go ahead. We get ready to move on to the next section of questions here that we're going to present, and I'm just going to randomly choose someone to go, and we'll make sure that we hit everybody with this. But now that we're building on the connection between mind and body, let's talk about the nourishment, whether it's the mental nourishment of the body or the physical or both. What does balanced nutrition look like for you, and how do you maintain it? And I'm going to start with Danielle.
Not the claps all out. So balance is the key word in that sentence. And I think in so many areas in our lives, balancing is we promote this idea of balance. But I think balance in nutrition is what does your body need in the moment, as opposed to what you think you should eat, right? And so, because again, I'll give a quick story as to why. I used to balance by saying, oh, I had this many calories, so that wins me, right? Or I only ate 500 calories, so that wins me ice cream, right? And so now I'm trying to balance it that way. That's not what my body needs, because 500 calories of ice, a tub of Ben and Jerry's versus get you some nice good watermelon, okay, get you some mango. It's what my body needs. So no, it's not that you can't have something sweet, because if you're craving that, maybe you do need some natural sugar. And not villainizing food. Yes, you could get some nice cream, like Queen, get the frozen banana, you get some nice cream. So you can have balance. And I think for me, it's looking at what does my body need right now? Not only what does my body need, what is my mind like? Am I sad? And that's why I went Ben and Jerry's. Have I made that mental connection? And if so, can I go talk to somebody about my feeling and then have an appropriate meal, right? And trying to, again, I don't know why that unlearning keeps coming up, but just relearning the proper way and what balance means to me, like what it looks like for me. Again, somebody else might say, hey, I need to work out every day. That's going to make me That's what I need for my body. Whereas if I work out every day, it's obsessive, it's compulsive. I can't sleep because I got to work out. I feel guilty because I didn't work out. Like for me, that's not my way. My way is you got to move every day. You ain't got to go to class. Not no coach. I would come if I could. I would come if I could. But I'm saying for me, it's setting my watch, saying you got to stand up, you got to take your walk, enjoy nature. That's what it is for me. So to truncate that, balance is listening to my mind and my body, and not without shame and without judgment.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. You about to get attacked by Coach, but thank you for that. And next, we're going to have Stephanie, please.
Can I have a question again?
Yes, ma'am. My pleasure. The question is, what does balanced nutrition look like for you, and how do you maintain it?
Okay. First of all, let me say I was laughing earlier because I just happened to look down and seen Lala took her hair and tied it up under her neck. It turned it. It looked like it's like y'all. That was so. Look at now. She turned her hair into a scarf. That is cute. I was like, wow. What does balance? One more time. I'm sorry. ADHD at its finest. Just one more time.
What does balanced nutrition look like for you, and how do you maintain it?
Okay. Balancing nutrition, my nutrition looks like for me is do not reward yourself with food. Okay. I do not reward myself. I had to when I'm on a journey, when I have gotten myself like on point with my eating right. AJ, stop. With eating right. Sorry, y'all. I got 4 of my grandkids here. And I don't apologize for that. But when I get my food, my eating together, which I have, thank God, for like the last year and almost a half, it is very easy to get off balance with ice cream, chocolate, like when you and all of those things, because I was a chocolate fanatic and ice cream in the summertime, but I had to have a piece of chocolate every day. I was buying candy bars every time when I walked in that store to the cash register. Grab me a Hershey's bar, sis. Where's the Hershey's? I want one without peanuts. Or if you don't have it, then give me the one with peanuts. But I had to stop rewarding myself with food. If I do something good, or if I lost 10 pounds, or, and you were saying, I think it was you the other day, you were saying about grace. I don't give myself grace no more. I used to give myself grace, but I am the type of person where I can't afford to give myself grace, because if I give myself grace, I'm gonna fall off. So not saying that I beat myself up, or I'm hard on myself, but I am being I'm being structured with my life. I'm being intentional with my eating plan and my workout plan. And like Lala said before, it's like I think about I'm putting this food in my body to fuel my body. I don't, because now when you're awoken about what you put in your body, and whatever you put in your body, that's what you feed. So if I feed processed food and a lot of sugar in my body, I'm feeding my disease. I'm feeding high blood pressure. I'm feeding sugar, diabetes. I'm feeding overweightness. I'm feeding what you call them little things, them little worm things that we all have in our body.
Parasites.
I'm feeding that kind of stuff. I'm feeding my mind parasites. I'm feeding my mind being foggy. I'm feeding bad skin. You know what I'm saying? The fungus that naturally grows in our body. I'm feeding all of that. I'm feeding, yes, that tire around my stomach. I don't want to. I'm tired of feeding that stuff. I'm tired of feeding that. I made a conscious decision to change my life and to live on purpose and to feed my body. I eat today to live. I eat for energy. I eat for mind clarity, because what we put in our body, we can be foggy. It can make us not be able to understand, make us not be able to sleep. I like my sleep. You know, all that heavy food at night, having nightmares while I wake up in the morning and I done had nightmares and I had that fan and while I had a bad sleep. Because what did I eat before I went to sleep? I ate things. I put things in my body that fed my disease. So my mind ain't clear. My sleeping is not good. I'm not at peace. I'm not at rest. I done caused turmoil in my temple. So yeah. So for me, y'all, I done got passionate about what I put in my body. And I thank my sisters this morning. They helped me to remember. I said yesterday, it was like I done started lifting weights and it's like, why am I so hungry? I haven't been this hungry. Why am I hungry all day long? I don't get hungry till 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. What's going on here? Well, they helped me to remember that, sis, you've been lifting weights. And so what we do to our body, it makes a difference. So because I've changed my mindset, changed some things is changing in my body. So I have to be conscious to put more protein in my body, because I'm burning off all them vegetables and fruits by lifting weights. So everything in our life and on our journey is a balance. We have to balance things out so everything can stay on a even plane. So just a lifestyle of changing the way we eat and what we do, it is a journey. And if you get off balance with doing something different, if you don't change your mindset along with it, you're going to start thinking, well, I got to go eat some pasta because I'm hungry. No, you don't. You just have to eat something that's going to give you some fuel the right way and not going to add sugar to your body. So, I don't even really like pasta no more. But yeah, for me, my whole life, I take what I learned about my body and what I'm doing with my healthy journey. I'm also taking it through my life and trying to get a balance in everything in my life and trying to change, some things that I want to change in my life. So it's all a balance. Life is all about balancing. If my equilibrium get off, then I'm going to be like, well, let me start again. I don't want to start no more. I want to stay here and continue to move. I'm done.
Yes. So I'm going to touch on, because like some people you can relate to on so many levels, and I know, when you're going through that journey, you do have to start to say no. Quite a few people in the chat were saying that you got to listen to your body. You have to listen to your body. If your body's telling you something, the way I got on this journey, because I get a chance to answer, I'll just wait. I'm going to pick somebody else to go. But first, I want to just address the chat really quick. I want to say welcome into the chat. I know Open was already here. Welcome in. Positive Crash Out Channels, Boss Life Online. Thank you for being here. Weight Loss Journey by Keto. Welcome in. Brit Family Fun. Welcome in. Miss Do It Yourself. I see you in the chat. Thank you so much. And if I missed you, I do apologize. I just don't see anyone that I didn't mention already. But thank you for being in the chat. Thank you for keep on engaging in the chat. Let me see if I missed any questions in here. Danielle says, excellent articulation. Journey, not a destination. Lifestyle is not a quick fix. No, it is not by a long shot. Positive Crash Out says, yes, it is, Coach. I need to listen. I'm about to be 45 and I want to live as long as I can. This is really a desire. I want y'all to understand that today's world has a huge desire to live. They don't know exactly what to do. They're all fixing, a lot of people are fixing in on quick fixes, like how Danielle just mentioned, it's not a quick fix. How Stephanie is like, it's a journey. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that, but no, and even Coach continuously speaks on the fact that you are going to have to, it's not, it's forever. So if you don't lose any weight in the first 2 months, it's the process, right? So she over there talking with the mute on. I'm glad she can't. I can't hear because I know she's saying something. But I'm gonna give her the flow right now. We're gonna hear from Coach Meereen. Go ahead, sis.
I'm over here bursting. Oh my gosh. Can you just say the question one more time so I don't go off on a tangent?
Okay.
Please?
No problem. What does balanced nutrition look like for you, and how do you maintain it?
So many people were saying so many things. Oh my gosh. All right. So balanced nutrition. It kind of ties in with the mindset thing we were talking about first. It really ties in with the mindset thing because it goes hand in hand. Because you can have all the intentions you want to have, but if you start listening to that Debbie Downer, that hater in your head, and the hater in your head is telling you, go on over there and eat that ice cream. You deserve it. You worked out today. You deserve it. Or like Stephanie was saying when she's hungry late at night, right? You're hungry late at night, and you like, I got those keto friendly crackers in the fridge. Let me go get those because they healthy, right? So let me go eat those. Let me go get me a protein bar. Because people think these protein bars are healthy. So a balanced diet is whole foods, period. Not any of these processed foods that they're talking about and telling you are healthy, that they put in these packages and they say no sugar added, keto friendly, gluten free, protein chips, protein bars. All of this stuff is foolishness. It's all junk. They've just figured out, these companies, and when I say they, I'm talking about the collective food companies. They figured out what Queen was just saying, that everybody is more health conscious and people want to eat healthy, right? But they realize that changing and stopping the eating of the sugars, especially sugar, is really hard, right? So they go to stores and they want to see things that make them feel comfortable. You want to see things that make you feel comfortable. So someone tells you can't have ice cream, right? So instead of saying, okay, I can't have ice cream anymore because ice cream isn't serving me. Ice cream is only causing me to have diabetes, high blood pressure, muffin top, saddlebags, bat wings, all of the things. So, but you love ice cream. So you don't care, you love it. So you don't really want to stop ice cream. So what people are doing now is substituting the healthier option. So these companies have figured it out. So they've created these products that are healthy versions. The keto ice cream, throw it in the garbage. The keto foolishness, all of that stuff is loaded with artificial sugar and real sugar and, well, no carbs, right? They've cut down on the carbs, but they filled it with all of these preservatives that are not healthy. So when I think about balanced diet, I think about whole foods, like eating whole foods, cutting out the stuff down the aisles. Down the aisle is the devil. It's the devil. The only thing you can get from down the aisle is maybe some nuts. Maybe some nuts. La la. Oh my, I'm not looking at your square. I'm not looking at that. I'm sorry, guys. Oh my gosh. Oh my, it's the nuts. You can get some nuts down the aisle. But that's it. You got to shop the perimeter of the supermarket. So that's what I think of when I think of balance. I think of whole foods. I think of eating to improve your quality of life, and not just eating to satisfy your cravings. And that's the issue. We eat to satisfy our cravings. Like, we eat when we're triggered to eat during different situations. So if you're in a car, you're driving somewhere, you got to have snacks for your trip. You got to have snacks at the movies. You got to have snacks after dinner. You got to have something sweet after dinner, right? And then you're piling on all of this food that you don't need. And then you turn around and you get upset because you've put on weight. And then, to satisfy that voice in your head, you tell yourself, I can't look at Lala, y'all. You tell yourself that you really don't eat that bad. I really don't eat that much. There must be something wrong with me, and I just can't lose weight because I'm really not eating that bad. When in actuality, you are. You are. And you've got to get real with yourself. Once you do that, sky's the limit. The limit is the sky. I'm going to let somebody else speak.
Okay, so I don't usually mute myself because I'm coming in, but between me laughing at Lala, coughing, and everything else, I just I can't disrupt. All right, so with that being said, I'm giving the floor to Lala. And
Okay.
Coach said a mouthful, y'all. Y'all know what she said. I mean, this probably just gonna be a build on the build, because definitely when it comes down to nutrition and what it looks like for you and how you maintain it. If you listen to what people are saying, they're telling you how they maintain it is the things that they don't do. If you're listening, pretty much everyone's responses have been the things that they don't do is how they maintain their nutrition to eat better, okay? To eat more than better, whole foods. Go ahead, Lala.
This what I do. The closer to the source, the better. And I just want to piggyback on Coach Mean Green when she was talking about them ingredients and such things of that nature. And I say, like, yeah, the more chemicals, the more your body has to work, the more enzymes your mouth have to produce, and the more acid your belly have to conjuncture for that stuff to assimilate with your body. So the less ingredients, the better. And what I do is no labels, no boxes, no bags, no cans. The closer to the source, the better. It's electric. Have you heard of angstroms? Angstroms are how much electricity, how much life force. La comida. La comida is the food. Eat beets, not blood. Okay. What was the question? Did I answer the question?
That was the answer.
Okay.
If y'all, honestly though, so we laughing up here today, but we are very serious. But Lala I'm gonna tell you, this is why I rock with Lala, because one, nutrition don't have to be nutrition and health, and it don't have to be, oh, I won't do this ever again in life because it could be Lala, right? It could be just that. But she just ran something down on you, so don't miss it for the comedic side of it. Don't miss what she just said. The closer to the source. Let's go. The bags, the labels. If it's got a label, then you probably don't even, I tell you, because I know everybody got to start somewhere. I tell you to read the label, but she said no labels. Let's go, Rooted.
All right. So for me, balance is eating to feel good. And I know a few people have said that already, but I just repeat it again because this is something that I recently started doing. I used to just eat whatever and didn't care didn't really notice how my body was reacting to what I was eating. And now that I'm older, I'm more in tune on what I'm putting into my body, and my body's telling me like, hey, that ain't it. I don't want that. Stop eating that. And it's telling you that. But you just gotta hone in on your own self to know what's what for you. So this is something new for me. Just realizing what is good for me. But you can see like your energy levels, your mood, your digestive system. You'll see all of that if you focus and really hone in on what your body is telling you when you're eating. Some things that I like to focus now on eating is more plant-based food. So vegetables, fruits, legumes, seeds, and healthy fats. We don't want to just consume any and everything. We don't want a bunch of processed food. We all know that processed food is just a bunch of junk and it's not good for us. So eliminating all of that. And if I'm going to go one step further, if you want to continue to eat the junk, all that junk food, make it yourself. Make it yourself from scratch and then see how you feel. But for me, I also recently just started doing more prep. So if you haven't heard, I have a 9 to 5. I'm working that plantation job now. And I don't want to go out and go to the fast foods and grab what's convenient. So I'm making my own food every Sunday for the week. And I have different meals and it's working. I do put a lot more vegetables in my food than proteins. So I'm not a vegan or anything like that. I still eat proteins for meat sources, but I do limit it. So I'll have 1 protein and like 3 vegetables. And I also like to use my essential oils because I'm all about the oils, and they're plant-based. And I do have essential oils where you can consume them. Anytime I talk about oils that you can consume, I'm not saying go to Target, Walmart, and just grab some lemon oil and start consuming it in your water or anything like that. The oils that I have on my website are specifically plant-based. So not all oil companies out there are plant-based. They will add synthetic things or fragrance or just enhance the oils. And that's not what you want. So with the company that I'm with, it's all plant-based, and they do have some oils that you can consume. And I like to put the lemon essential oil into my water. I've used ginger to make like stir fries. I've used peppermint to like put into my water for my digestive system. So it all helps and it's all natural. Do I go crazy with adding essential oils and consuming them? No. I use like 1 or 2 drops and keep it simple. Some other things that I like to do is like drink herbal teas. I'm really into adding more greens to my diet because that's really good for you. A lot of us don't get enough vegetables or greens in our diet, and you are harming yourself when you're just consuming all that junk. I recently just started doing chia seeds. So chia seeds are really good for you. You can make like chia seed puddings. You can add them to liquids. The sky's the limit with chia seeds. I also drink my Ninja Red, the red drink that I always talk about on my channel. It's like all antioxidants, all plant-based. It's full of nutrition. It gives you your daily vitamins, and it is plant-based, as I said, and it's not a bunch of sugar. So I love using that drink on a daily basis as well. But as I mentioned before, the healthy fats. So we all know the hydrogenated oils are not good for us, or the vegetable oils and things like that. It's not good for us to cook or deep fry and things. So I use healthy fats like avocado, ghee. If you're familiar with ghee, it's clarified butter. So you remove the milk solids from the butter and you're cooking with that. And then olive oil. So those are the 3 oils that I like to use in my household. And I just wanted to leave a little quote. So balance doesn't live in a perfect plate. It lives in consistent and nourishing choices. And that's what I got for that one.
One more time, Rudy.
Balance doesn't live in a perfect plate. It lives in consistent, nourishing choices.
Consistent.
Nourishing choices.
Okay, so somebody did something to their mic because I got feedback and I heard scratching the whole time. I don't know if that was you, Rudy. Did you hit your mic while you were talking?
Nope.
Okay, but I didn't see anybody unmuted either. So I wanted. Did y'all hear the scratching too?
Oh,
You
man.
did not. Oh, okay.
Do you hear
That's
the
what
scratching now?
I heard it like it was like something came across the mic.
It was like something was moving on the microphone.
Do somebody have on a lapel mic?
I don't.
Okay. I don't. So, all right. So, but the feedback is gone, so that's good. All right. So here we go. Y'all write it down. Write it down. Write it down. Balance isn't in a perfect plate. It lives in consistent, nourishing choices. Let's go. Rocking with Cowboy in the house. We have loving myself in the house. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. And Lori Ann, model Lori Ann is here. I think I acknowledge you, my weight loss journey by keto. And I also see somebody, oh, here we go. Cruz Bolero is in here. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. And let's see who else we got here. Oh, there it is right there. Did you hear it?
Oh, this.
Yeah, stop.
That's me. Sorry. It was me.
Okay, stop.
I'll stop.
All right, y'all. This is crazy day, y'all. Zoe is in the house. Zoe is in the house. Zoe Madden in the house. All right, so it looks like I acknowledge everybody here. Let me see if I'm missing anything. When we have awareness, the mind tells the body, and the body sends out the signal. Yes, ma'am. And if we're paying attention, and that's the only way awareness will be. And the closer to the heartbeat, I've been saying this for years, which is closest to the source. Let's go. All right, so now let's go ahead here and continue. We have Miss Coach Sherry. Same question. Let's go.
All right. So I drive a lot. When I travel, I love to drive. I love the convenience of having my vehicle with me. And I know what type of gas my car takes and what gas stations I prefer. And one day I just recognized that how I'm going to care more about the gas that I put in my car so that it can have fuel and take me where I need to go and not have that same energy, that same passion for what I put in my own body. Because our body, what we put in it, that's the fuel. And I have been running on empty quite a bit in the past, especially, starving myself, thinking I'm good, having that one cup of coffee only in the morning, lasting me until late in the afternoon because I'm so busy, quote unquote, and can't even stop to put fuel in my body. That's crazy. That's crazy. And so when I started to recognize that and realizing that, yes, just like Stephanie was saying, I need more protein. That's the very least I can do is start my day out by eating something that has high protein in it. And typically I eat a boiled egg, a couple of boiled eggs. I should say like 2. A long time ago, I had started to say, I'd rather eat my calories than drink my calories. So the only thing other than 1 cup of coffee every day is I will only drink water. Because why would I do that to myself? Why would I add those extra calories, that extra sugar, or whatever it may be, that the drinks that people will typically drink with their meals, be it soda or juice or whatever. I'm like, I'd rather eat my calories, and that helps keep me balanced. That helps keep me accountable, as well as for what I put in. So for me, it's about accessibility. So again, if I'm driving, I'm looking for gas stations that's accessible, that's off the highway, that's not going to take me beyond what my car can handle. So for me, accessibility is having those good foods on hand, making sure that I have, healthy snacks throughout the day. I have fruits. I usually eat 2 to 3 different types of fruits every day, easily grabbable fruits. I just recently learned not to eat the regular types of bananas, but to get the tiny ones that are from, I forget the Asian country that they're brought in from, but they're the small bananas that are typically brown. They look like a tiny plantain, but those are the best bananas. The regular size bananas, they have the
Burrow.
The GHO, is it? You said thorough?
Burrow
Thorough.
bananas.
Okay, because those are man-made and are not healthy for us. And so, just understanding that, going to the farmer's market, being more educated on the types of fruits and vegetables for my body. So that's being mindful, having mindfulness. And you have mindfulness, you know what type of gas your car takes, regular, the middle, or premium. Why don't you know what kind of food it takes to run your body, right? And then having intentionality, stopping. I don't give a daggone what I'm doing in the middle of the day. I'm stopping and I'm eating lunch, period. I'm having my lunch. And that has really changed the dynamics of how I feel, how much clarity I have for the rest of the day. I always thought I was good, I'm not hungry. What? I'm good. But when I give my body that food it needs to fuel it, I am that much better. I have way more creativity and innovation with what I do. And I have to develop new things all the time, with what I do. And this just gives me a wider berth. And I know it's going to sustain me for longer with the food than without. But it's about putting the right foods into my body and the cleanest foods I can get. I'm not there yet where I'm not reading labels or, but I'm on the perimeter of the supermarket for sure. And there's only certain types of supermarkets that I'll go to. There's one in particular that I love here in Charlotte. It's called Lowe's Foods, and it's a family-owned local supermarket. The vegetables are from regionally grown farms, and just being very mindful and intentional in that way, because my body, I'm a Rolls Royce, I'm premier. So I have to put the best in the best, and stop looking at other things to put the best in. We always are so concerned with the loved ones in our life that we're caring for, our children, our spouses, our husbands. But what about us? We have to eat and do well for ourselves too. We have to give ourselves that fuel so we can have that energy to do even that much more for the ones that we love and for our community. So that's my part on balance.
Absolutely, because I'm going to say, can y'all hear me? Y'all can? Okay. Okay, I just want to make sure. Okay, so absolutely, I want to say that, were you saying that burro bananas were the man-made bananas, or you're saying the other bananas were the man-made bananas?
The other ones, the big bananas that you typically find in the supermarket, yes, they have GMO or something they're injected with, and apparently they have to change the combination of how they make it every 5 years. And there's been a lot of cases of people being harmed health-wise by eating them. And I need potassium. We all need potassium. But, I'm thinking, and you think about it, those bigger bananas, and some of them are huge, right? And you might think well, I know for me, I stopped tasting them. They don't have a taste anymore. They're just a banana. And it's just like, I know this is good for me, but it's not banana-ing for me. But the small, tiny ones are just the right size in real life, and they have the flavor that bananas typically had in the past.
Okay. Yes, definitely. I'm very familiar with burro bananas. I just thought they were a different type. So you learn things. Everybody don't know everything. You learn things, and then you take this information. Just know that you don't take everything to heart. You take this information, you research it for yourself, you find out, because now you have a foundation to even look into it, right? Because at the end of the day, you might have took that banana and just took it to heart and said, hey, this is a great banana. But now you can go and research that. Now, burro bananas are at the international markets. Now, I've never seen them at Lowe's, but they're at Lowe's here too. And I kind of shy, Lowe's and Whole Check, they kind of got the same flow. You take your whole check to go there. Yeah. So I kind of shy away from Lowe's, but they do. It is a very, very nice market. They have the where you can get your raw nuts and everything there. So I know I should have said that for Lala, but
Can I say one more thing, like a FYI, because I'm not a cook and by no means, and so this is for the non-cooks who sometimes find themselves in the kitchen where they really shouldn't be. So listen, there is a difference, and y'all might think this is crazy, but if you make banana pudding, just on a happenstance, I know Coach Mean Rain, it doesn't happen often, maybe once a year, I'm just saying. If you need extra bananas and you go to the supermarket and you see loose bananas that are brown because you want them to be very, very ripe, and you're excited that, wow, this supermarket is selling single bananas that are brown and ripe. Those aren't always bananas. In many cases, those are plantains. And don't make the banana pudding with that. Just FYI, I'm just saying this. A friend did that before and it just didn't turn out right.
But my plantains, when I go, they're a little bit bigger than the burro bananas.
You're
talking
not
about
a cook.
Their actual bananas.
That the other one must not be a cook, because you can tell the difference between plantains and bananas.
You can.
Yeah, okay, Coach, I'm about to say, because I'm like, wait a minute.
It wasn't me necessarily. I'm telling you a friend's story.
Oh.
And if you eat anyway, because you're kind of on the low key greedy, you will get sick. That's all I'm saying, especially if you don't cook it. So that's all.
Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, y'all, we're going to rise on over to the next question. We're going to move this right along, because y'all know that I do want to embark upon this question as well. I want to give my input on this. So when it comes down to a balanced nutrition, I'm going to probably repeat and ditto each and every sentiment that has been said up here about that. Definitely whole foods. I say it all the time. If it don't grow out of the ground, more than likely you shouldn't be putting it in your body. But always usually cancel it out. So I'm going to say however instead of but. However, I understand that everybody is not in the same place at the same time, but I'm giving my experience. And in my experience, eating whole foods, nuts, and seeds only have been the best nutrition for me. And the question is, how do you maintain doing this? Well, I don't proclaim to be a vegan, but I eat vegan-styled food, and I'm veganish, right? So some things don't fall under what vegans that define themselves as. So I decided that I create things from whole foods that remind me of the things that I used to indulge in, which is things like, I like hamburgers, right? But I don't want to eat hamburgers anymore from beef. So I eat a burger that could be a bean burger. It could be an actual mushroom. It can be whatever. I created, and that's why they call me Queen's Alchemy, because I alchemize it. I transform it into something else so that I can eat it and it be nutritious for me, right? So now you also have things like what? People enjoy fish. You can use other things to create fish, other fruits and other vegetables that you could create fish out of that are whole foods. They grow out of the ground. Banana blossoms, right? That's the outside of the banana that you use that has nothing to do with the actual banana itself. So, but I know I might need to check into that now that Coach Sheridan said what she said. Oh my goodness. But, things like that. So then you have so many different ways. And so this is how I stick to what I do, because I'm able to transform into things that I used to like. So I even do it on the raw spectrum as well. because raw foods are really the best way to be. So I've even created, and y'all can check out on my channel if you have not yet, because some of y'all came to me on the back end, so y'all don't really know what I used to do back in the day. And I only been on here 6 months. I'm talking about back in the day. But what I originally started doing on the channel, which I am getting back to. But y'all can check out, like I have my raw pad thai, I have the chickpea tuna, things like this are foods that you can create that makes you feel as if you have the actual food that you used to eat. And I know that people get hung up on, and this is another question we're gonna have on another day, but people get hung up on, I don't know, I love my food, but do you love your food or do you love you? That's kind of what I'm really getting at when people say that to me. I'll be like, you love you or do you love food? Because if you love you, then you would love the food that you're using to create to be the replacement of whatever it is you're eating, because it's not going to taste exactly like that food, but um, texture is one thing that makes a difference. Taste makes a difference, seasoning it up and that kind of thing. And the other thing is presentation, what it looks like, right? So if it looks good, people be like, oh, that look good. But what is it? You tell them what it is, they be like, I don't know if I want to eat that because that probably ain't gonna taste right. That ain't. But you eating a whole. I ain't going there. But you eating a whole rack of lamb or rack of pig or whatever that may taste like nothing if you don't put any seasoning on it. So I'm kind of confused on. But you can eat what I'm fixing. You can eat it raw. You don't even have to cook it. So this is what I'm talking about when I say this is how I maintain it, because I get to do whatever I want to do. And we'd have two people up here to say they don't cook, Coach Mean Reed and Coach Jerry. That's why they're good friends. I'm letting y'all know. That's why they got that coach, because they don't cook. Coaches for no cook.
I do cook. I don't like cooking.
She don't like to cook. She don't like to cook.
The first thing I'm getting is a chef.
I don't cook and I don't like it.
I want to say I enjoy creating meals, like creating things. So I'm doing I know it's off schedule too, but I am doing a grill and chill. It's the vegan barbecue. I want y'all to come and watch this food transform right in front of your face. And I want you to say, oh, nah, I wouldn't eat that. I got dogged out for my carrot dogs, but I tell you, they taste just like them doggone hot dogs that you eat. The difference is it's a carrot, because I seasoned it up to taste just like some meat. Okay, so just so you know that. But I'm definitely gonna have some of them on my grill, baby. Ooh, I'm so excited. But we're gonna get on to the next question. So that's how I do it. That's how the queen does that. Okay, so that's how I balance my nutrition, and how I maintain it. My other way is if I get, and you can overindulge in that kind of food. Okay, so how I'm cooking this food and creating it, you can overindulge. You also, people think, oh, I'm vegan, or you eating vegan style, so you can have French fries, and you can have, all these things that you fry up. You need to crank down on that fried food too, because you can be a junk food vegan, right? So, what are y'all doing? Clock it. What y'all doing?
Clock it.
Clock it. Okay. I'm like,
you said you could be a junk food vegan.
Yeah, you could be a junk food vegan.
Gain weight.
And gain weight. And I'm gonna let you know, I have done it because I said, oh, I think I want some unfish and chips. And it was so good. I was like, oh, I need to make this for a few days. And then you turn around and you're eating all of this bread, and you're eating pasta, and you're putting the pasta with it because it's supposed to be vegan, right? It's okay if you have it in moderation, but the best way to be is raw if you can do it. I'm not gonna say if you can do it, anybody can do it. Unless they have some type of allergy. And then the only reason you probably have an allergy is because the fruits and vegetables growing out these days probably ain't got something in there causing it to do that, I think. Honestly, that's what I really think, because everybody that has an allergy, most of them were not born with it. It acquired over time. And that's when they start changing the food. But that's a whole nother conversation for another day. And Supreme, of course, comes in with vegan ramen noodles are delicious. Hey, Supreme is in the house. Supreme is in the house. Who else came in during this before we move on? Just Supreme. Supreme, welcome in, welcome in. I didn't acknowledge Lay, y'all though. Welcome in. All right, so let's go. We're getting ready to move this on to the next question. I have 6 of these, but we have a little, we're kind of dwelling on it, and I don't want this to exceed a period of time. I don't know how much time we've been on here. Let me see. I'm not saying that we have a time limit, but if you have it too long, people are not going to really watch the replay on it. And I think that we're dropping too many nuggets and too many gems for people not to engage in this content. So I may look at this a little differently the next time around so that we can make sure that, it's good enough for people to be able to see this on the replay. Welcome in, Vegan Kings. Welcome to the building, my brother. Welcome in, welcome in. I appreciate you being here. And so this third question, because I think that was only the second. Oh, that was only the second. We covered 2 questions in 2 hours. Y'all know we talking up here. Y'all know we talking, right? Right. Okay. All right. So now let me see if I want to bypass and put into, let's talk about, so this next one was about fueling your body, which was still in the under the nutrition. We're going to start to talk about a little bit of movement. Okay. This is a combination. Let's do this one. Can you share time? So this, sometimes we change the way we, we're going to do a little personal on this one. Okay. So can you share time? And this is the question that's going to start out being for Rooted. Can you share time when changing your nutrition or movement habits transform your well-being? And you kind of touched on that a little bit earlier, but if you would go ahead and answer that in conjunction to that question, please.
So I'm going to start off with, I began yoga and fitness this year. Before that, I wasn't doing anything besides working at a plantation, and I did 2 of them. So I kind of put that in the category, okay, I'm doing physical work at work, so that sufficed. But it didn't. So this year I just started doing yoga, and I started off with chair yoga. And then after about, I want to say 4 or 5 weeks of chair yoga, I started doing regular yoga. And then I slowly incorporated more. So now I have a vibration plate and I do physical activities. So push-ups, sit-ups, all that. And I'm not using any weight. I'm just using my body. And that's how I got to start my physical movement with working out. And I started off at 10 minutes and now I'm up to over an hour. And it's only, May? So we do work over here, and you'll see it on my channel. If you are not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe, and you'll see all about working out with Rooted. You can join in with me, but very simple movements. I also noticed a change in my energy, my sleep, my mood, and even the digestion with physically working out. And it actually does work. I stopped focusing so much on losing weight because it was in the back of my head, like, yes, I want to lose weight. If you've followed my journey over the holidays from November of last year until this year, I gained like 12 pounds. So I was at 177, and yes, the goal was to lose that weight because we didn't want to get no higher than that. And I lost the 12 pounds, and I've actually now lost 15 pounds. So the physical activity does actually work. And you just got to be consistent, and whatever that consistency is for you, just do that. as I mentioned before, I started off with 10 minutes and now I'm up to over an hour. I also, again, eat healthy. I started doing the juicing. So there's a lot of involvement and like changing with me. And when more comes, I'll change it and I'll share it with you on what I'm doing. What else? I did stop ordering out and eating all the fast food. I definitely stopped all the like processing food. Remember how I said if I'm gonna eat some junk food, make it yourself? Well, I started doing that myself. So I do like granola, and granola from the store is full of sugars and processed things. So I made a whole video on making your own granola. And I'm going to just do more of that, like showing you how to incorporate easy things to your lifestyle that you can incorporate. I also do a plant-based cleanse every 3 months. So that's to detox my body, but also give my body a rest from consuming all the solid foods, because sometimes your body just needs that rest. And I treat my body like a vehicle, and I like to use that expression. You know how you get your car a tune-up every 3,000 miles? Well, you should do the same for your body. Take care of your body and it will take care of you. So I do a cleanse every 3 months, and it's for 5 days. It's all plant-based. One of the times I went vegan, and I'll probably do it the next time, which is in July. That's the next cleanse. So if you want to join the cleanse, join me. But the vegan cleanse that I've done is a really good one. Each time that I do it, I do lose weight. But now that we have lost the weight that we wanted to lose, I'm trying not to lose more weight. But it's going to happen the more that I work out. But now I'm trying to build that muscle mass too. So that muscle mass will gain weight and will be in a balance. So yeah, that is what I have.
That is super awesome. That was great. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you, Vegan Kings, for the super chat. I appreciate you, my brother. I wish I had my thing so I could do I got a little thing that do a little dance for you every time you give a super chat, y'all. But I ain't got it. I ain't got it connected because I don't know how to do that yet. But I'm gonna have it. All right. And then that was great, Rooted. And I just want to say yes, yes, and yes to giving your body a rest. That is major. That was huge. I do it as usually we're around the same time. So July is actually approaching mine as well. So I know that we do it all around the same time every time. I don't even, mine is just kind of like as I feel it. I don't typically even do it that way, but I know I'm not doing it in June. That's my birthday month. I know I'm not doing it in June. So it's going to be July. But anyway, not that I'm having cake and ice cream or nothing, but some nice cream. Oh, y'all heard them mention that. You heard Danielle mention that nice cream. If y'all really want some ice cream replacement, I make some good banana pecan. I make a nice uncookie and cream. You just stick with me. Y'all see. It ain't no cookies in it, but y'all think it is. All right. So look at Stephanie's bowl over there. Stephanie, you next, sis. Here go the question. All right. What advice would you give? Oh, that was the next question. Can you share a time when changing your nutrition or movement habits transformed your well-being?
Can I name a time?
Yeah.
It is period. Period. The food changing my nutrition last year changed my health. It changed my numbers. It changed my the way I feel. The way I think. It changed everything about everything about me, except I was still having aches and pains. Why? Because I had to start moving. I had to start moving. So my nutrition, when I changed my nutrition last year for a whole year, I was like eating, excellent. I ain't gonna say excellent, but I say excellent because of the way I used to eat. So it changed my mindset. It changed because I started feeling better. Because it changed all that mucus that I was getting all up in here. It changed that when I stopped eating. That's just for me, y'all. When I stopped eating that, the meat, it took away all that mucus up here, so it changed my the sinuses, all them sinuses and stuff problems that I was having, all that all of that. When I wake up in the morning, I wasn't having to gag. So my nutrition changed my inside. It changed the way my inside was feeling. It changed the way my heart was beating, and it changed the way my blood was flowing. Okay, 2 snaps and a biscuit. But I still had to get moving. No, I mean, no, not the biscuit, but I still had to get moving, right, Lala? I had to get moving. I'm like, but like I was talking about earlier, in my mind, I've been working out for about 3 years, okay? But it wasn't out here yet in the atmosphere. So one of my friends that I met hello, I'm on live. One of my friends, she put out that challenge in December. I was like, this is an excellent opportunity for me to get moving and to challenge myself, to make myself, because the mindset was changing and the inside was changing. Now the outside had to change. What I just say? Stop talking. And sorry, y'all. Them teenage grandkids I got over here. And so when I started moving, when I started exercising, then I really start feeling better. I stopped getting up out of the bed in the morning and be like, oh, like the back stiff and all of that. It changed the way it put a better pep in my step when I started moving my body. It's almost like I felt when I started standing up straighter. I wasn't leaning, washing the dishes. Okay, not wanting to feel like I had to carry my basket of clothes to our laundry room and put it in my wagon and pull the wagon because I ain't feel like carrying that heavy basket. It gave me energy. It changed everything, to the food changed my inside, and my exercise, the movement changed my outside. So it's like I'm living a whole new way of life than I was living 2 years ago or a year and a half ago, because I made a conscious decision to change my life. Hallelujah.
I used to just mute a thing. Okay, so absolutely, sis. And you said it before, and you said it again. You say it over and over again. You change the way you eat. It changed the way your body feel, and you feel good. And that's the best part of making these kind of decisions. She also stated that in her mind, she was doing this for over 3 years. I want to say this before I forget, because every time I get ready to speak, I forget to tell y'all, the same thing happened to me. That's almost identical to my story. Like, I knew exactly what would work, I guess to say. I watched so many people and their testimonies of, reversing their high blood pressure and the things that they did to do this. And I knew what it was. And it took me a little over 3 years or more, probably. And it wasn't until I listened to myself. My first mind told me, and I think it was because I was at a point where if I didn't do it, it was going to be the end. It was like literally I was putting myself in a place of where I may have been up on. I mean, I don't like to use the word, but I do really think that this was the case, that I was headed towards a demise of myself, whether it just was complete health demise where I was going to be, or completely out of here, right, altogether. So I know I'm glad I actually listened to myself. and started that it was fasting for me that I started, so that's why when Rooted spoke about letting your body rest, it's huge, y'all. It's huge. Right now I'm on a raw um salad fast. I actually ended today, but and then I just all raw period, just but only salad for my meal. Only eat once a day anyway, so that's what I had. I posted them on the community post, y'all can see it. But and then I had my smoothie bowl today. That's actually all I ate today was that smoothie bowl. But I'm good. I'm not hungry. I don't want anything. So don't eat if you're not hungry. It's a myth. Do you know it's a myth that says you have to eat? That's a myth. Do not roll with that. Again, this is for educational, informational purposes only. As y'all can see it scrolling across the screen there. It is a myth when someone is telling you you need to eat 3, 4, 5 times a day. The only time you need to eat is when you're hungry, truly hungry, truly hungry. Truly hungry means this. It doesn't mean like you got a situation happening, your kids getting on your nerves, and you gotta get to work, and that job making you upset, and you got something happening, and you like, oh, if only I could eat something, I probably feel better, or that's what's gonna make me feel better. Because I'm telling you, I'm talking from experience here, okay? I'm talking from experience. Something happening, and when you feel better, you want to eat. When it's happening, you want to eat. You want to celebrate, you want to eat. You want to eat. That we're not eating. Don't eat. If you're not hungry, don't eat. That's the point I'm trying to make. Just don't eat. Do not eat if you are not hungry. That is the key. We're going to keep it moving. I'm going to have Coach Sherry go ahead and answer that question for me.
All right. So 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with, and I had to write it down because I still don't believe it, with hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy. And that's a disease that you're born with, and it deals with your heart and enlargement of your heart. So I have a big heart, literally and figuratively. Um, but it hinders the way the blood flows throughout my body and causes shortness of breath. And most people that have this disease, they don't find out about it, or they never find out about it because they pass away. It causes sudden cardiac arrest. And it was very fortunate that I was able to find it before that happened. And I still, even when I go to my cardiac specialist, I'm just like, my cardiologist specialist, who are you talking to? Like, what? So what I'm about to share is definitely my own experience. I don't necessarily recommend other people to take this path. If you have this too, definitely, listen to your doctor. I can say that I don't always listen to my doctor because, I had to have that heart to heart with my doctor. And now he absolutely understands. It was interesting at my last appointment, which was a few weeks ago. I loved that he sat down with me and asked about what I do. I mean, he knows what I do, but he still wanted to see if I'm doing what I do. And, he can feel the passion that I have with what I do. So, because I've always told him, treat me for life, not for death. Because when I first got the diagnosis 3 years ago, I was scared to death. I found that I couldn't walk and talk at the same time. I would be short of breath. When I would do presentations, I do a lot of presentations on stage, virtually, all over the country. I do a lot of presentations. And initially I thought it was because I'm so excited about what I'm talking about that it would just make me feel like I was working out, like I was running a marathon or something. I would be hot. I couldn't catch my breath sometimes. And it was because I had that issue and I didn't know it. And again, that's how especially athletes typically will die suddenly from it, because when you are athletic and you get that real burn and you're just like, oh, I'm getting it in. Sometimes, especially if you have what I have, that's like a heart attack is right there. That's what that really means. So understanding that, I was like really afraid to even walk because I just didn't know. I didn't want to just drop dead. Whenever I did walk or when I was with someone, I would always let them know that I have this issue just in case something happened. Because people look at me and think that I'm in great shape, like, oh, wow, what you talking about? So when I found out and I started taking the medicine, they had to give me a beta block, which slows down my metabolism. So believe it or not, I have in real life, like outside of this beta block before, my energy was out the roof. You know, it was just, I was just always on 10. And so the beta block has slowed me down a lot, significantly. In my head, I'm like, da, 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 but in real life, I'm just kind of like real calm and easy. But the beta block, since it slows my metabolism, and with my fear at the time of really doing anything, it can cause you to gain weight. And so I started to feel myself getting full. And in my head, I'm thinking, this can't be good for my heart if I'm gaining weight and all this, like what's really going on? And I never wanted a dis-ease to be the reason for me to gain weight, you know? So I was trying to figure out what could I do? So I would walk. I started walking. I would always tell, and I still to this day will say, I can walk far, just not fast. And I started incorporating walking. And then I started to slowly incorporate the elliptical, because I have to go to my cardiologist very often. And, you know, one time he told me, listen, I need you to start working out, because I don't know if your heart is getting worse because of what you're not doing, or if it's because of what you are doing. So he encouraged me to, you know, do a little bit more. So I started to do a little bit more, and I noticed that it started to give me that much more energy, because having a beta block will make you very sluggish and lethargic, you know, just exhausted at the end of the day. How are you so exhausted? You didn't do any real activity. So why was I so tired? It's because I wasn't doing anything other than what I do on a day-to-day. So by incorporating walking, and I try and walk for any reason. I park the furthest from the store. I, you know, walk at lunch. I walk in the morning. I walk in the evening. You know, I just continuously try to, you know, keep my body moving. If it's raining outside, I'm going on the elliptical. I'm making sure at least 30 minutes on that one machine. Now listening to Stephanie and Coach Mean talking about weights. Coach Mean was talking about the importance of weight, especially after you get a certain age. I'm going to start incorporating that. I've been told not to lift anything higher than 5 pounds. However, I know that I can build myself up to more than the 2 pounds that my doctor is telling me, because you can't just lay down and accept everything that's given to you if you know that there's more out there. And even my doctor said, you know, try to push yourself a little bit more, but just be mindful. I mean, I'll go back so he can evaluate it again. This is not something that's going to ever get better, unfortunately, without major surgery, open heart surgery, but I just want to try to keep it at bay for as long as I can. And so this is my motto that I live by, is that as long as I have life, I'm going to live. You know, my life is my legacy, and my legacy does not include doing nothing. My legacy includes being that catalyst for change and not living with fear, but having faith over fear. And that's what I'm doing, and that's how I'm living, and I feel great. Listen, no day is given. Every hour, every minute is a blessing. So we don't know what the end date is. We know what the beginning date was. And I'm in that dash right now. So I'm going to live the best I can in this dash each and every day. Whenever the end will be, so be it. You know, I'm God's child. He loves me so much that I know that he has a place for me at the end. Now, in my head, I'm gonna be 106. Now, y'all know I'm double nickel, but I'm gonna be 106. But even if I'm not, listen, God got me regardless. I know love. I'm loved. I give love, and what more can you ask for in life? So that's my story.
You muted, Queen.
We do me like Sherry last month. You muted.
What
QT
the question
says,
was?
Taylor say, Taylor said, is there a cure? I think she said, is there a treatment? But I think you answered it during the time you were talking about it, because that was way up. That was further up.
Oh, well, my doctor did mention at my last appointment that there's a new medicine out. It's been out for 2 years, because I don't like to be a trial bunny for anything. But he said that he's been looking at it and I would be a good candidate for it if it comes to it. And he was like, yeah, you know, it's $100,000 a year for that medicine. And I was like, oh, okay. and it shrinks your heart. The medicine itself shrinks your heart. So there's two things: open heart surgery to cut off part of my heart, which what part of my heart are you thinking about cutting off? Or do a heart ablation where they stop blood flow to a part of my heart so that it can, shrivel up and die. I just want to know, what part of my heart do I not need? So none of those options for me right now are anything I would prefer.
Supreme says, good job, Sherry. No excuses, all action. He loves that. Awesome. Thank you, Supreme, for not, when I hear stories like you, it always lets me know that things could be worse. Let's go. What? He wasn't trolling. He had a serious response. Oh my gosh. That is awesome though, Supreme. I appreciate you giving that. And I'm gonna answer your question in just a moment. Matter of fact, the question was, I'm asking if it's meant for human beings to be vegetarians. And the reason that he's asking this is because our liver filters poison from the meat for a reason. So watch this. We're going to make this a quick and easy answer. Your liver doesn't filter meat, poisons from the meat for a reason. Your liver filters poison for a reason. So if the meat has poison in it, why the heck are you eating it? Something that's poisonous to the body. To answer your question about the vegetarian portion of it, I say eat whole foods. If it grow from the ground, then that's what I feel like. That's what was here and was always here and will be here till the end of time. You can always have that. Nuts, seeds, grains, all of those things can possibly be at your disposal as well, but you definitely will never go hungry because something will be growing from the ground. I mean, you can eat the leaves, you can eat the grass. You know what I'm saying? You can eat whatever comes out that ground. And if your body has the ability, which you just made the clarity that the liver can filter these things, poison. So if we actually put something into our body that has some poison in it, our liver will filter it for us, according to what you put in there. I don't have to do my own research. Again, this is for educational and informational purposes only. And if anybody want to tap into that answer, they can. Question, they can as well. But he did ask that towards me. He says a good answer, but he still don't want to do it. Now, he still don't agree with it. But that's fine because you know what? This is a collective build, and that's why I wanted to see if anybody else wanted to tap in on that question. Anyone? I know we shifted a little bit, but we about to wrap it up too.
Look, so. me and her said something. Go ahead.
Whether or not we was meant to eat plants, whether or not plants can be the only source of life, whether or not you're gonna die if you don't eat the aminos, whether or not they contain the 108 vital nutrition minerals that the body needs. So, I don't know if he said something about poison, but I don't want no amount of poison. Like people will be like, it's just a little bit. I'm like, well, why would you even want a little bit? Just because your body has a mechanism to help filter it. Why would you want to gunk up your, just like Stephanie was talking about her car, like, just you want to gunk up your filter too? Or Danielle, Sherry was talking about the gas in the car. We got filters too. So why overwork yourself? And when you overwork yourself, your system, that's where the stress comes in and the hypertension and high blood pressure, because your body doing so much to combat. You overworking your liver to do this filtering now because we can eat meat because the liver can but there's so much more involved. The body is is like this magical. It corrects itself. It wants to be in homeostasis all the time, all the time. So these flags that is giving you is leading you to what it is that is the problem, whether it's a breakout in the skin, the acne. That's the biggest filter, our skin, or whether or not. I can go on and on with the side effects, so-called, well, direct effects of things that we do, but you have to tune in. You have to tune in. Your body tells you. It's not in no book. It ain't in no video. You know what I'm saying? It's within you. The knowledge is within you. If all you have to do is listen. To each his own, though.
Woo, let's go, sis. What was you going to say, Stephanie?
Like, uh, yeah, for some people, eating meat, yeah, like Lala said, we think about everything is not how it used to be when my grandmother was my mother's age and my mother was my age and I was small. You know what I'm saying? The food is processed differently. They put way more stuff in the food. So those people that's living to like 100 and some years old, they didn't eat the same stuff that we eat. And now that they older, they don't eat the same way that we eat because they know better and they learn better. Those are people that ate from the ground. When potatoes grew out the ground, they was real potatoes. When the greens was real greens, and they had their own gardens in their backyard. And we was talking about that earlier on the lab. You know, my mother and everybody, they grew their own greens and all the rest of that. When the markets that they went to real markets and got, meat that was grown on some good farms, okay, that didn't have all of that stuff in it. So everything is different. And I'm not trying to, tell nobody to not eat meat, but it comes a time in your life where the food that you eat start attacking your organs. And because certain stuff is packaged in a lot of salt now, it's packaged in a lot of sugar now, they spray with a lot of different, they have to get a lot of shots because of so many diseases and stuff. So it's made differently. And so when we put this stuff in our body, our liver that used to not have to work so hard, now it's working overtime. And you got more people dying with liver cancer and having high blood pressure. Like, why do everybody got high blood pressure? Because the way they do our food. Why do everybody have sugar? Because the way they do our food, and they put stuff in there to make you just want more and more and more and more. And everything is in sugar, and everything is in packaged in salt, and everything got antibiotics in it and all the rest of that. Well, it's like it's harming our inside. And so our liver is working overtime. Our heart is working, especially if we're not mobile, our heart is working overtime. Our arteries is getting stiff. We getting all this cholesterol built up in our arteries and the blood can't flow through. And so it's like we have to we get to a point in life where when we get tired of our doctors just giving us medicine and medicine on top of medicine so our liver trying to filtrate all the medicines that we take go through our liver, all the meat and the pastas. So we talk about meat, but it's still the pastas, the meat, the potato chips. It's all of that stuff. Our liver have to filtrate. That is like, filtrate all of that stuff. So you got a lot of people with overworked livers. They livers is like nowadays they going out the world from liver damage. Mm-hmm. And especially if you drink too. So don't forget that drinking can really kill your liver. Really. So it's a lot of stuff. So, so what can we take out that can help us live longer? And it's all about how long do you want to live, or what you want to do for your organs, what you want to do to make yourself feel better. And for me, I want to give my liver a chance to last and to recuperate. And that's why another reason why, you know, and if you smoke, so think about that. If you smoke, if you drink, if you eat junk food, if you take medications, all that stuff got to go through your liver. All of it. And your liver is crying out when you having these pains in your side and you don't know what they is. Well, your liver is tired. It's on this side, your kidneys is tired. If it's up here, our pancreas is tired of trying to make what is that when you're diabetic, what does it have to make? I forgot.
Insulin.
Insulin. It's tired. It's trying to keep up with all the junk that we put in our body to help to make the insulin to balance us out. So, you know, it's like for some of us, now I ain't gonna say everybody, because it is people out there with real problems. They got real eating problems for real. I know that they have real problems, and you know, the mind can't overcome not eating right now. It'll come. So, but for those people that's right in their mind, we have to make a conscious decision. Do we want to give our liver, our kidneys, our pancreas a chance to live? Heck, we still have to, you know, the cancer and everything else. Do we want to give it a chance to move? I want to lose this weight around my stomach so I can give my organs some room. So with that, I'll pass.
And we kind of jumped over like this question. And like I said, I really, like I said, I don't want to extend this. You know, we'd have had people on here. People are still coming in, but I've had my panelists on here for a couple hours. And I just want to, you know, move this along. So I'm going to bypass that last question. We're going to go into the last question. And I'm not, you know, rushing you on your responses, but if we could just quickly go through this, like 2 minutes, maybe a minute, 2 minutes, and then we can wrap this up. Okay. All right. Appreciate it. All right. So this last one, I did want to get it in there. Okay. So that was awesome. Thank you for engaging Supreme and getting some responses there. You got quite a few different responses. All right. So what advice would you give? Okay. So as we close out, yeah, this is our core question, because this is why I wanted to do this. Because I want to shine some light on some things for people that's trying to still figure out things. What advice would you give someone struggling to find balance between eating well and staying active? Coach Meereen.
Eating well and staying active.
Mm-hmm.
What advice
Mm-hmm.
would I give them?
What advice would you give them?
Well,
That's somebody struggling, someone that's struggling to do this.
I mean, it depends on what the struggle is, really. But if you are struggling to yeah, but that's it's kind of a weighted question, because struggle, is it struggling to stay consistent, struggling to find what works for them? So there's a lot of different ways you can answer that. But I'll just say this.
Wherever you want to approach it.
Yeah. If you are struggling with your journey, like you're struggling to eat right, you're struggling to work out, you just always have to take it back to, why are you even starting? You always have to take it back to your why. Like you're probably starting a journey because you want to lose weight. That's normally why people start, right? So once you figure that out and you say, okay, I would like to lose weight, then you have to forget everything you were taught, especially on social media, because the focus is primarily on weight loss, but not on actual weight maintenance and keeping the weight off and doing this thing for the rest of your life. There's a lot of focus on putting a Band-Aid over a gaping hole. with all of the products, all of these supplements, and now all of these shots that are out here, everything is focused on the now. Everything is focused on quick results. And if you want to have balance with your weight loss journey, and this is just my opinion, if you want to have balance, if you want to have long-term success, you've got to figure out how to change your relationship with food. And my favorite thing, changing your relationship with what you think about working out. Too many people think working out is a chore, that they don't have to do it to lose weight, that all they have to do is the bare minimum. And I'm not talking about people that have outlying ailments where you have to restrict your workouts. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about able-bodied people that, of course, when you first start working out, it's going to hurt. It's going to be very uncomfortable. Your arms are going to be shaking. Your legs are going to be weak. Your core is going to be screaming. Especially if you come to my class, it's going to be
on a Thursday.
But if you're trying to create balance, you've got to change your relationship with how you work out. You got to change that mindset and stop saying to yourself, I can't get on the floor. I can't do floor exercises. I can't do this. I can't do that. Or it's taking too long. Or you try to work out, you try to eat right for a month, you don't lose any weight, and you quit. This is too much. We quit. We quit too quickly because it's not working, because it's not this, it's not that. And then we rely and we turn to all of these synthetic things. We're talking a lot about not eating meat. Well, I say stop taking medications to lose weight. That's my personal opinion. It's another foreign object that you're putting in your body that you can only do for a temporary amount of time. And then you're going to have to stop this shot. You're going to have to stop these pills that also affect your liver, that also affect your pancreas, that also affect your mindset, because you're not learning how to do it independently. You're doing it with the assistance of whatever it is. You're doing it with the assistance of these things. So you're not really learning balance. You're not really learning how to do things slow and steady. You're hoping that you lose 100 pounds quickly by doing these shots. You're hoping that something will stop you and teach you how to not eat what you want to eat with these medications. Like, that's just my personal opinion, guys. Like, I know that a lot of people say, well, I need help, that's why I take these shots. I don't agree with that. I agree that if you slowly learn how to change your mindset, you can do it without any shots, without any assistance. Because at the end of the day, after they tell you no more shots for you, guess what you got to do? You still have to maintain that diet and exercise routine. So whether you take it or not, you still have to maintain it. So that's what it's all about. It's about taking all of what you've learned about diet and exercise, losing 30 pounds in 30 days. Take that mindset out of here. Slim fast, no, slim slow, and take your time. Learn how to eat, learn how to change your diet. Come to class Monday through Thursday at 7 p.m. with me. I don't bite. I'll make you sweat, but I don't bite. Come to class. Stop saying you cannot and say I can and I will. And let's get it. That's all.
Let's get it. That was awesome. Let's get it. She don't bite for real. She is Coach Mean Reen, though. She likes to. I know y'all. Please watch the video. You could even hear her laughing like the Wicked Witch of the. I was like, see that
round two.
That part right there. I was like, oh, if I don't get that in, it's something to it. If it don't get in there, they need to hear this. They know she's just too happy. All right. So can I get again? We trying to do 1 to 2 minutes. 1 to 2 minutes. And I'm gonna have you go, Danielle, please, ma'am.
Because I'm obedient. No. No. So what advice? So for me, I'm always going to go psychological. What is your mental block? What is your thought process? What are you telling yourself? Because you almost said it earlier, Queen, and I've heard you say that in your video. You listening to your body when you were not healed, whole, understanding what your body was telling you, had you overweight, right? Had you doing bad habits. And so sometimes we have to correct those negative mindsets. We have to kind of whatever was inculcated in us as a young child or what we learned through the process of life, we have to address that thing in order to have a honest conversation with our inner self, right? Because sometimes our inner world is askew. It's not telling us the truth. It's lying to us. And that's why we have such difficulty breaking those patterns. And so I would say, let's think about what is your mental resistance? What's that conversation? What are you telling yourself about nutrition? Are you saying things like, I can't live without meat? Why? Who told you that? Where does that come from? And I'm not saying that that's the thing, but I'm just using that as an example, right? I'm too, I work out and my body is tired. Who told you that pain is a bad thing? The only thing that feels pain is things that are living. So that's a part of life. Suffering, even, the biblical text says each day has trouble of its own. Each day has evil of its own. And sometimes it's on Monday with them planks with Coach Mean Rain. So you kind of to say, I will always ask, what is your mental block? And can we process that, right? I have a book called Mind, Body, Mind, Spirit, and it is a book that is tailored for Christians. So that's just my niche, okay? But it talks about getting all of these things in alignment, because if one thing is out of alignment, you start to fall back into that pattern. So that's going to be, and I think I made it in 2 minutes. That's what I would say. Let's talk about why you think the way you think.
Okay, so I know y'all heard her use the word inculcated. And for those of you who didn't know what it is, I put the definition up there on the screen. She said she gave you a forewarning if you were not in the building that she will be using words, because that is her thing, that you may have never heard of before, and I had never heard of inculcated. Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Danielle, for sharing that. And actually, everything is in the mind first. That's why we talk about mindset over here, right? To get that mind right. There is no weight loss anonymous. There is not one that actually you can go to. There's no treatment centers. They used to call them fat farms back in the day, but they weren't real treatment centers to get you in the right mindset. There was not true counseling and things like that. Let's go ahead and have Rooted. Give me the answer to this last one here. 2 minutes, please. 2.
All right, so I'm gonna say start off small. You don't need a full workout plan or a perfect meal prep routine. Start with something that would work for you. So if that's like a daily walk, eating a smoothie, stretching when you get up or before you go to bed. These things will help with getting that started, and it's also getting your mindset used to a routine. Give yourself grace. Life gets busy, so the goal is progress and not perfection. Make it enjoyable. Choose foods you love that also love you back. Choose movements that feel good for you. I always say when I work out, do what's comfortable for you. If you're following me, don't do exactly what I'm doing. If you have to modify it, modify it. If you have to be on your knees, be on your knees. If you can't do what I'm doing, do what's comfortable for you. Also use tools. So my tools, are essential oils. So I will use those to the day I am gone from this earth. I'm probably going to get buried with them. But use the tools that are going to support you, whatever that may be. I use essential oils for moods, energy, focus, as I mentioned, cooking with, just healthier habits to make it a little easier for your lifestyle. And the last thing I'll have to say is lean on a community. So everyone on this panel is in health and wellness, some type of way, shape, or form. So if you're not sure where to start, you can find one of us and we can help. You can come talk to us. You can like, hey, I'm having this issue. What can I do? And we'll definitely point you in the right direction. But we're not like doctors or anything like that. So just keep that in mind. But yeah.
Am I off mute? I'm
Yeah.
off mute. Okay. Thank you so much, Rudy, for keeping it down to 2 minutes. And can I get Lala, please?
We talking about how
No, we're talking about what advice would you give
advice I
someone?
would give to somebody struggling
Mm-hmm.
to find balance. Oh yeah, I would not take it to the extreme and cross over to a new diet or meal plan right away. I would just focus on something that I could add to my regimen, maybe like do a habit stacking type situation upon waking, maybe do like a lemon water or something, like, just for example, just habit stacking instead of focusing on, oh my god, I can't eat any more pizza. Focus on what it is that you do want to implement, and therefore you'll train your brain to have that positive vibration of making the opportunities better for you. That way you can see them better. And when you put yourself in that position and do as be the change as you want to be, you put yourself in that position and those actions. The first time may be motivation, but when you do it again and again, it's integration, and you're becoming, bruh, I told you, bruh, and you're becoming who you want to be. Get dos minutos. Okay.
This is my evergreen content.
Put my mic.
Thank you. They're gonna have a good time when they watch it. Forever green. All right, Stephanie. Go ahead, give it to me. Come on, Stephanie. You need it again?
No, I'm just gonna go off of what they said. It's
Oh.
the what I would suggest the same thing that everybody else suggested, is to just like, if you want to, if you can, like, substitute something out of your diet. Maybe like rice. Maybe instead of eating rice, eat quinoa, and just try it. And if you don't want to take anything out right now, then add something, because majority of the people don't eat enough vegetables. So add some greens in there. Get a couple more spoonfuls of vegetables, because what happens is you'll begin to see, and then wait, season it to taste good with some herbs. And yes, my daughter taught me how to use herbs. With some herbs, season it to taste good, and you will get to, your palate will begin to change, especially if you add lemon water in there. It will change the palate on your tongue. You will stop craving sugar, but you will just eat. Because when you change your palate, it helps you to not have certain cravings. So that is one of the most important things that I would tell people, is to change the palate by drinking lemon and maybe cucumber water. And try to add more greens in your meals. You can add greens in your breakfast. If you cook eggs, add spinach. Add spinach to your eggs. Drink smoothies, add spinach to your smoothies. And as far as exercise, if you like me, how I talked about, I was exercising in my mind for 3 years before I started moving. If you in your chair, get you some bottled waters. Go like this. Or if you sitting down, start lifting your legs. Watch chair um watch chair exercises on YouTube, because what we put in our mind and in our eye socket is what we will begin to do. Like me, I did that. I watch stuff. You watch it, and you will begin to try it little by little, little steps. If you're the type of person where you just it's too overwhelming to even think about getting up and moving and exercises, do it from your chair. Try it. It works, because every time when you lift your legs, you working your stomach muscles. I don't care where you at. If you lift your legs, you working your stomach muscles. If you moving your arms, you working these muscles, your shoulder muscles and your back muscles. And so you can strengthen your body from your seat until you get ready to get up. That's my spiel. That's my
Yes.
spiel, and I'm sticking to
Yes.
it.
Let's go. And Coach Sherry. Let's go.
How about now? How about now? All right, all right. So the summer before my junior year in college, I figured out how to make straight A's. And that was by reading my notes every day, not having to cram for my exams because I was already good. And so it was not about cramming and trying to figure things out the last minute. No, all along doing the right thing. When in 2002, after reading, no, it was 2001, after reading Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, I started looking at purchases as assets or liabilities. And that helped with financial literacy for sure. And in March of this year, I recognized how to do better with the things that I eat and my actions, having activity. And that's by considering my future self. So thinking about what I do today and how it's going to impact my life tomorrow, and wanting my future self to look back on today and say, thank you. Thank you to me for me doing the right things, for putting the right things in my body. And because of that, since March, I have lost 5 pounds, and that's without cramming, that's without overspending, that's without not worrying about the vacation body, the summer body, the body. It's just really being concerned with my future self. And that's how I stay balanced, and that's my strategy, and I'm rocking with that. It's as a lighter lift. I can still have a good time in the midst of it all, and it's less pressure. So that's how I do it.
Well, I'm going to say that's absolutely great advice. I know y'all taking this in. I do want to add my own, and we're going to shut this down. As I said, I want to appreciate everybody that's in the chat. I did see a question from Life with Timbrell. My okra water was actually, it took me a minute to get used to it. However, I did. You don't like okra water? Nobody liked okra water, but I did like the way it made me feel. So it was actually filling. It had antioxidants in it. I could tell. I can tell it. It actually it does send you to the bathroom. If that's TMI, it's TMI. But it does take you. It take you there. It'll take you there. It'll take you there. All right, and then and it's a very very acquired taste. I like okra, so I like the way okra tastes. I can eat it raw. I can eat it pickled. I can eat it however, you know what I'm saying? I can eat it. I can eat okra, cook it however you want it. So I knew wouldn't have a hard time with it. It's really the sliminess. If you have a texture issue, you're not going to be able to really take that in. So you may have to try to drain some of that. I guess I can call them the slime, but whatever. you might try to drain a little bit of that off so you can have more of a water taste, but mine tastes like I was, I mean, the texture of it was that way, but I enjoyed it. So, and I would definitely do it. Thank you, Rooted. I would definitely do it again for myself. And for me to answer this question here, what advice would I give someone struggling to find balance between eating well and staying active? I'm going to say my advice is to be intentional, just to, I would definitely take advice of the panelists who have said, one thing at a time, putting things into perspective, not trying to put it all there and get overwhelmed with doing everything all at one time. I would also advise you to um, do something to get moving, something to get moving and something to change the way and what you're putting into your body, and maybe make that change once a week. Add something every week, add something to that. I mean, I myself, I'm an all in person, so I always go all in. But if I was to give someone who was struggling that advice, that's what I would tell them to do. Just pick something that you know that you can stick with, and stick with it for a week straight, 7 complete days of that. For me, I went straight into fasting for 3 days and eating for one. I rode it right into it after coming off of eating a meal from Panda Express the night before, having a 3 entree meal the night before, going straight into a fast. And I listened to myself that told me to do that. My own um, body, my own mind. I had a whole conversation. I talk to myself all the time, but I had a whole conversation, and the conversation was, hey, you need to fast today. I didn't even really question it. I kind of thought that's weird, but I went for it because I know my body was trying to tell me something. But I just went ahead and did it because I was eating like that every day. I was having these meals, things that was not conducive to me. I had swelling all in my feet. And then I didn't realize I didn't only have swelling in my feet, that every part of my body was swollen. I didn't even know that I had so much inflammation in my body until I stopped putting that food in my body. So please find something that you can do to move forward and do that one thing. I definitely think that's a great advice. And that's why I'm piggybacking off of each and every one of us up here who have said that. One thing definitely gets you to that next level. You don't have to go all in, Coach Mean has her classes. She's telling you. I mean, we joke about it, y'all. Her classes are phenomenal. Okay, they really do get you out your comfort zone, and she's not pushing you to do something that you cannot do. But what she wants you to do is get there and actually try it, because she knows this is her experience. You need to listen. If you don't know her story, please go to her channel. She talks about it. She got about 1,500 videos on her channel. Just look on there. She tells her story in quite a few different ones. So you can go there and watch that story, because I'm not going to tell you the story, but I definitely know the story. But I think it's something that you should tap into her channel and see, because it's just because she can do the splits and touch her nose to the floor and do all of that today. That's not where she started. Okay. So just know that. And Stephanie 57 climbing, which is also Stephanie 57 journey. She made mention of the things that she's done that made the little minor changes to, by sitting in her chair, lifting her legs, and working out in her mind for 3 years. I'm not saying work out in your mind. I am not saying work out in your mind. Not by a long shot am I saying work out in your mind. I am saying take what your mind has been telling you to do and actually go ahead and implement one of those 2 or 3 things, whatever it is that you shall do. Rooted in Essential Oils gave out a whole bunch of nuggets in his dissertation about things that he would have you do. And he also said, pick something, do something, choose something. Lala said, pick something, do something, choose something. Uh, Danielle, get your mind right. Put your mind in order first. Think about that thing that you're going to do and put it together. Get your mind right, because you got to get your mind right, right? So everything is tied into each other. Also, my sister Sherry, Coach Sherry, said the same thing. You got to pick something. So pick something. So if you think about it, the consensus up here, the consensus said, start somewhere. Let's get this going. Let's get this going. Let's get this going. Let's get healthy, y'all. This is what we get ready to do up in here, okay? This is why we trying to, I want to save the world. That's really my goal. I want to save the world, but I know if I get a consensus of people, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people up here on the panel with us. We're just 6 people, right? 7 counting myself. We're connected with quite a few of the same people. But if y'all take this information, share out our channels. This information is detrimental to the masses. It is very important. Get it out there so people, because you never know who on your channel looking for something like this. And they don't even know where to start. They don't even know what to do. We dropped so many nuggets in here today, y'all. And then also go to the playlist, because this is the second one to be on the playlist. Just share the playlist. That's what you do. Just share the playlist. We talked about mindset last time. We talking about nutrition and movement and how important this is, and even how to get started right here in this live. Also, make a dissertation. Yeah, they pretty long, but just listen to them. They ain't got to watch us. We ain't doing that. We ain't not performing. So you ain't got to look at it. Turn it on while you on your drive to work, and then turn it off if you got to turn it off while you're at work, and then turn it back on your drive home, or while you're cleaning the house, whatever it is. Just turn it on and listen to it. Share out our channels, okay? That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm charging the chat with. I do appreciate each and every one of you being here. And what I'm going to say is definitely don't quit, please. As Coach Mean would say, don't ever quit, and you don't have to start over. Don't ever quit, and you don't have to start over. You don't. Stop stopping. All right. So this has been powerful, y'all. Y'all know that no matter where you come from, what you do, or how you live, health and wellness is universal. It's universal. It's across the board. We all have minds and bodies that need care, love, and intention. In intention. I'm not saying attention, because it does need attention, but it needs intention. It needs you to be intentional about what you're putting in your body. Think about that. How many times you heard the car scenario? You know how a car works. You know how a car runs. You know how the care it needs. And if you don't, study that, and you might be able to study how your body works, right? Because it's pretty much kind of the same, way. Whether you're juggling family, business, building a brand, working long hours, or just trying to figure it all out, wellness is still here for you, no matter what it is. It's not reserved for those that have the convenient time to get it done. It's really time. It's for you. It's for everybody, right? It's now, you don't have to be on a certain income level, because it's a human thing, right? It's the thing that we all can do. Now, this is why the collective bill was created, y'all. It's the space where real people come together and have real conversations about what it means to live well. And with that being said, y'all know the next one will be coming up at the end of June. It's usually the third Saturday of every June. We're going to have every month. So it'll be the third Saturday in June. And so let me make sure that's not my birthday, because I promise y'all I'm not doing my birthday. I know y'all probably like, really? No, not really, really. Oh yeah, that works. We can do the third Saturday. It's actually the summer solstice, which is perfect, y'all. Perfect summer solstice in this boy. We about to come up in here, y'all, on the summer solstice. I am a summer solstice baby. Let's roll. It's the day before my solar return, so we're gonna have a good time up in here while we tell you some information that you need. So make sure you tap in, tap in, tap in. I got some upcoming things. I'm just going to run it real quick. Collab and Grows next week on the 27th and on the 29th. I have Pitt's Life on the 29th, and I have Anthony's Too Real, So Real, or Too Real. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Please charge it to my head, not my heart. And that is going to be at 7:22 p.m. And then come the 31st, y'all know it's the grill and chill with the vegan barbecue with the queen. So let's go, let's go, let's go. And I want to thank all of you for all of my guests. First and foremost, now that I gave all my announcements, I wanted to end this on this note. We're giving all this thanks to my guests for being here on the panel. Thank you so much for your time and your energy. Thank you for providing me with the attention, because the best way you can pay anyone is with your attention. So that's to the chat. Thank you for the chat for giving me your attention and paying attention and engaging. That's always great. And so I hope to see all of you come next month when we go through this again, and we're gonna tweak this to get this under control, y'all, on this timing. I'm telling you, we're gonna get this timing under control. We're gonna have to time these questions. I think I'm gonna change the email to say, look, the answers need to be down to a 2-minute. But we got stories to tell, so really you can't really.
You gotta truncate it. Truncate your stories, guys.
She want me to put that on the screen, y'all. She want me to put that on the screen because I don't know what truncate means. So we gonna get the definition.
It just me making shorter. Y'all know I'm trolling. That's my version of trolling. It just me making shorter.
Okay, it came right up when I typed it in. Okay, truncated meaning says shorten. Okay. Oh, okay. You know what? Danielle smart, y'all. All right. With that being said, everybody, I want y'all to please drop in the chat. Can y'all please drop, I don't know, drop some purple, red, pink, all the hearts you can, some fire emojis, whatever it is. As we go ahead and get out of here, y'all can do it as the music is playing. I want to thank you guests for being here. Thank you, panelists, for all your expertise and all of your insights. And hope to see y'all all here again. Y'all know I'll be sending out the information. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Coach Ring. Thank you, Coach Sherry. Thank you, Just Danielle. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Lala. And I appreciate you. And thank you, Rooted. And we are out this piece right now. We're getting ready to go into another, as soon as I get it going, y'all. Peace and love.
Queen's Alchemy Tribe is the vibe. Spitting peace and love on every live. The wisdom she holds is like no other, bringing together every sister and brother. She extends peace and love through collab and grow. Her weekly connection, so now you know. Join the tribe on the live, she got something to say, bringing healing the body each and every day. She's got something special, yeah, the queen is the vibe. Dropping wisdom in the group on every live. Queen Alchemy is gifted, yes, she'll fight for you when she feels compelled to stand up for the truth. She's strong in her stance with poise and grace, giving back to her community in every way. Queen Alchemy, now you know her name. One moment in a tribe, no, you won't be the same. Sharing wisdom, she's the queen, dropping knowledge on everything. Join Queen Alchemy, she's the vibe, sending peace and love on every live. With the knowledge and the tribe, hail to the queen, Queen's Alchemy.
Peace and love, y'all. Peace and love.